reviewing K-pop comebacks part 3. Let's get right into it. aespa, Savage. This is probably the song by aespa that I've enjoyed the most, the one that they've released, compared specifically to Next Level, and I enjoy this more. I find that even though I don't think, again, they're like a group that I'm gonna like stand, at least in the very near future, I think they're showing to be improving. I still think that a lot of the aesthetics they decide to go with are interesting, but I still believe that they're not really still mature enough as a group. I don't know why. It feels to me that SM kind of rushed this group away because, in the industry, because at the time they were having monetary problems with COVID. If you know, SM specifically makes a lot of money with their concerts and their touring, and probably they felt, we have to kind of band-aid these couple of years, and they did that. Not because these guys are not ready, these girls, are not ready, just that as a group, clearly, to me, the concept is still not flushed out very, very well, and hopefully it's gonna be better in the next years to come. Next, we have Ash Island with Play. I feel like this is a product placement or anything, something for Google, but regardless, I think this song is kind of a hit or miss for me. Like, I don't mind the production, I don't mind some of the vocals, but I definitely don't like the fact that he's trying to do this pop punk thing, because I just don't think it really fits him very well. And again, he's not the best vocalist, and the autotune kind of like rubs me the wrong way. Blitzers with Will Make a Mistake. I like this song by these rookies quite a bit. I like the production changes, the different styles, the pre-chorus and everything. It's aggressive, my style normally, especially when it comes to K-pop boy groups or male groups in general. But I don't know, it feels like this is the first time I've seen like a spawn of Stray Kids, where they have a lot of similarities to Stray Kids again in terms of sounds and aesthetic decisions. Not like it's a bad thing. I mean, it's clear that groups are gonna come out and labels are gonna try to mimic what's the most popular. It's just this is the first time I've heard it really from a younger generation group. Next we have Gravity with Veni Vidi Vici, one of my favorite songs of the year. I would say one of the best singles of the year. Gravity, again, like, I'm really surprised how good they are. Like, it's not that they weren't good when they debuted, or even like 6 months in, if you wanna, like, or a year in, but you can clearly see there's been a transformation, and you can clearly feel that the company is more comfortable trying different things, different styles, and the idols themselves are very, very comfortable. One of the best singles, you should definitely listen to it. Incredible vocals, pretty cool chorus, and definitely one of the best K-pop singles I've heard all year. Next we have Kraxi with Gaia. Now the video is 7 minutes long, but the song is around like 3 minutes, and actually this song is good. I think it's very interesting as well. I like how they change styles of production and styles of complete concepts of songs, like just abruptly, when you just go from a minute and it's like in a style, and then you go another and it's a completely different style. I like that a lot by them. It's a group that I've never really followed, but again, this makes me interesting to check their music. And again, I think the song is good. I think the short movie within the music video, it's actually quite interesting as well. Next we have Golden Child with Dara. I mean, Golden Child for me keeps their streak of very good music. I haven't really been super impressed with this specifically, but like I said, for me, the most important thing in K-pop groups is consistency. If they can be consistent, that's incredible. Next we have Jo Yuri with Glassy. Pretty good, very cute as well. I like the bubbly feel to it, very bright. I like her vocals a lot, they're very sweet, and she has a very soft voice, and a cute voice as well. I think that's pretty cool, and especially like how the production fits her very, very well in the style of the song, and specifically the lyrics, I think really fits the entire vibe. Pretty good song, honestly. Next we have Luna with Madonna. Luna, former FX member and SM idol. She just released her first single in some time at this point, and it's Madonna. I like this quite a bit, because even though there's a lot of sections that were in English, I remember when I heard it the first time, I was like, I don't know. She sounds really good, but she kind of feels like awkward, but I was completely wrong. She sounds really, really comfortable, and the song is really good. I think, seeing more of Luna's personality and more of her actual beliefs and dreams in her music, I think it's inspiring to a lot of hopefully young idols in the industry. And Flying Sober, it's a different style of Flying. This is more of a classic rock song, I would say. Classic love song, a little bit more mellow. There's a lot of ballad and R&B elements in it, but I think the vocals really, really delivered. I think I like seeing Flying doing different things. trying different styles, but the song is pretty good. Next I have Pixie with Addicted. I think it's an okay track. Definitely like the rapping here. I think the production is somewhat okay. I'm not the biggest fan of these type of productions, but it's an alright track. Same thing with Skyle. Da Da Da. I mean, is it great? No, but objectively it's a good song. It's well sang, and there's a good production behind it, but it just leaves me with the feeling that I'm not really gonna really care about their music unless they do something that really excites me, and I don't think they've really done it with these two tracks. Next we have Twice with The Feels. It's the first time I think they've released a full-length English song as a title track. Ballsy. Also interesting to see that JYP cares about reaching a Western audience more and more and more, because obviously Twice is huge in Asia, huge in Korea and Japan specifically. It's interesting to see them trying something a little bit different. The song is good. I would say that I'm not the biggest fan of some people's vocals here. Some of them eat their words because they're not the most comfortable in the language, but overall I like it. Honestly, I do. I don't go back to it as much as I go to even more recent stuff by them, but again, it suffers from what I've been talking about even in my more like older videos. I don't know if I still have them on this channel, but at the end of the day, like, they've been making this stuff for some time, and it's not like they've been really like experimenting. They've been doing pretty much the same shit for a long time. Hopefully by listening to the album, I'll be, again, like every Twice project, feel more content. Next we have Woods with Waiting. Reading the comments, I mean, I know this guy used to be an X1, but reading the comments, people were like, oh my god, like, this guy's incredible. I'm like, he's alright. Like, he's not a bad singer by any means. I think he's very talented, but the production is very uninteresting. The lyrics are just the most basic shit you can think of. Obviously this is a classic release to kind of boost your career post X1. Obviously I'm not saying it's a negative, but what I'm saying is that, like, you're trying to remember people that you exist, but mate, like, he's coming out probably at the worst time for male idols that are going solo, because you have Kang Daniel, you have Wano, you have obviously Bam Bam, you have JB now, you have Youngjae, you have so many that are coming out, and they're really good at what they do. It's very hard to for you to come out and say I'm gonna be good. It's very fucking hard. So again, he's gonna have his fans, he's gonna make all the views, but he's not better than any of the guys that I mentioned. And I didn't mention other guys that were really good as well. And the guy that I mentioned before, which is Youngjae with Vibing, this is a good song. I think it fits very well with Youngjae's personality, with his vocals that tend to be very bright, and they're not necessarily meant for sad songs for the most part, especially if you're gonna offer a title track. Love the vibes, love the production. It makes me happy. It makes me puts me in a mentally good place. So congratulations to him for releasing a very good song as well. And then we have Hoodie. I would dare to say a legend in Korean music industry. And she hasn't released music as far as I remember in some time, but When the Rain Stops is the fucking shit. That song is incredible. Again, her vocals are masterful. The production is really, really good, because again, she shows you that you don't have to use a lot on a production to make it really meaningful and make it feel like the song is complete. I mean, she completes it with her amazing vocals, don't get me wrong. The lyrics are really good, the vibes are really good, the chorus is sick. Again, Hoodie, if you don't know her, go check her music. I think you're missing out on a huge, huge artist. Next you have Black Swan with Close to Me. Honestly surprised, like it. Love to see Fatou getting more fucking bars and even singing parts, and not just like 3 words. It's important for her to do that, not only because she's the first like black idol, but I think in Korea, but I think it's also because she's talented. She deserves to show her talent, and she doesn't deserve to just be in a group just for as a token for promotions and stuff like that. So I love the fact that the company, they're not doing that to her, and the song is good. I think the song is good. This is definitely a throwback. People were saying the other time when I reviewed the last week was a song, I forgot which song right now, but they were saying it's a throwback, and I'm like, mate, this is a real throwback. This sounds like a song from 10 years ago, and not in a bad way. Next we have Chancellor featuring Gecko, Midnight. Like it, love Chancellor's vocals. I think Gecko does pretty good rapping. It's a nice dance track, nothing crazy, but really good. I love the jazzy. Is it jazzy? Like jazzy, kind of like disco flavor to the song. I enjoy it. Next we have Jessie with Cold Blooded, with the SWF, which is the group from Street Woman Fighter, which I haven't watched yet. I have to go back and watch it. But yeah, I mean, one thing I would say about this is, I mean, Jessie, again, she mastered this type of concept, right? aggressive songs. They can get you hyped with aggressive beats, aggressive drums, aggressive 808s, right? Very deep bass. I think she mastered it. I just think that I'm slowly but surely growing out of it, because when I listen to her projects time and time again, she shows extremely talented, great vocals, but she kind of dumbs it down because she has to have this image of this badass bitch that has nothing going on in her life. Everybody talks to her, she's scared. You see this every time there's a male she interviews. It's like, oh, they're scared of her. Oh my god, like they can't even look at her. There's just projection more often than not. But you because you have to live with that type of image, it just doesn't really allow her, I think, at this point in her career to really try different things. So while the song is not bad, I've heard better from Jessie, and I wish she could. I know she can do better, so I would love to see her versatility in the future. I think that'll be really, really cool. Lightsound with Vivace. As an Italian, like the variety of like Latin and Italian like title tracks in terms of names, but I like this as well by Lightsound. I would say I'm a huge fan of Lightsound, honestly, and I've liked this a lot. It's probably one of my favorites of this first half of October, and it's definitely one of the songs that I want to listen to the most when I go back to this type of playlist. Like, I really, really like it. Next, we have an SMTown track, which is Raiden featuring Tail from NCT and Lil Boy, and the song is called Love Right Back. It's more of your classic ballad, but I think Tail has great vocals and Lil Boy does a very good job, I think, rapping wise. Not because I think the lyrics just feel well, but I think he sounds good, the flow is good, and punchlines are there, and give him credit. Next we have Tribe. I don't know if it's called Red Tribe or B or whatever it's read as, but Would You Run is good as well. It's another one of these songs that kind of like are in that bag of like an Hot Issue or Stacy, like Lightsound. They're in that bag. And I like this one a lot. Love the vocals. I like the chorus a lot, actually, the more I think about it. And I think the length of the song is really good. Like, it's 4 minutes, right? But you would think that these songs would maybe tire you, but actually it feels like it starts and ends at the right time. It doesn't feel too heavy, and it doesn't feel repetitive, which is surprising because the song in itself is very repetitive. But I think whoever produced this song did a decent enough job to make sure that the production is not like overly like full, so it doesn't feel like you're constantly getting bombarded with like sounds in your head. I think that was well done. Next we have Gummy Boy with You Turn Around. I know Gummy Boy is huge in Korea, but why does he always get very low numbers on YouTube? I don't understand. I mean, this song is really, really good. His vocals are on point, his lyrics are on point, and he's, again, like, I'm super surprised because I know Gummy Boy is a staple name in Korea, really. He always sells very well. He tours, he does everything, but in the West, for whatever reason, I don't understand, he never really transitioned. Maybe because he doesn't really try to cater so much to the Western audiences in terms of marketing and PR, I guess, but it's quite surprising to see a super talented artist pretty much get no recognition, in the Western Hemisphere for the most part. Next, we have another Somi song, Go or Stop. This is for Damun Kia for Worlds, so it's a world song similar to what J Park did for Gen G. With PH1. It's okay. I think Somi does a good job. I think the production is a little bit overloaded, and the song doesn't really speak about Damwon and their aspiration. It's just Somi, really. And yes, Somi is a huge Damwon Kia fan, so give her credit because she did that probably for no money. But I don't know. I feel like this is kind of a failed experiment, in my opinion, because I know you could have done a little bit more, like, what are the players, right? What are the content creators? What are the merchandising? It doesn't even look like a Damwon Kia type of video, so that wasn't that good, I think, but still. Eric Nam with I Don't Know You Anymore. Pretty good song. I'm not the biggest Eric Nam fan, I ain't gonna lie, but I think his talent is undeniable, and I think this song actually showcases his vocals very, very well. A lot of the times when you hear songs by Eric Nam, they're not bad, but they always feel like he's not really showcasing everything that he can do. But I would say that in the last year or so, he has been really improving on that department and, becoming a true musician. He's also getting into his 30s, so he's probably maturing and understanding music a little bit better, which I think it's fine. I think sometimes we demand too much from young artists, I think it's also partly because if you look at the last 30 years of music, a lot of the really incredible artists are super young. So we tend to assume that every young artist you can only be great if you're young, which is stupid, obviously. Next we have Donghae from Super Junior with California Love, featuring Geno from NCT, if I remember correctly. And yeah, I enjoyed this quite a bit. You know, it's different from what I thought. I thought it was gonna be some sort of like reference to California Love by Tupac for whatever reason, but it has nothing to do with that. And you know, overall, I still like it. I like it. I think Jenna does a very good job. Their vocals change because Donghae's vocals are more nasal, but I think Jenna's vocals are a little bit more like sweet, and I think they kind of fit well together, honestly. And they seem also, when I watched the acoustic version, actually seem like they go along pretty well, and Jenna seems to really be happy to have worked with somebody that I assume he looked up to, not necessarily from being from Super Junior, but just being, you know, an older man in the idol space, specifically in his company. I think that probably means a lot to him, you know. And we're gonna end it with an Hypen, with Tame Dash. Love this song, love the vibe that Tame Dash has. I love kind of like the arcadey vibe to it. If I had to compare it, like who can I compare it to? But I like it a lot. Like, surprisingly, I still think it's like in the TXT kind of like, you know, range, where you can clearly think this is the same producers that produce stuff for TXT. But it's not a bad thing. I truly believe this is a good song. And again, in Hype, and I completely understand why Hype wants to keep promoting boy groups. They're the easiest way to get success, and they seem to be good at it. They seem to be really good at understanding quality and talent, and putting the right producers, the right writers around them, and actually giving us always at least, you know, a quality product, which is, you know, rare, I think, in today's K-pop, right? That companies are actually doing that. You know, unless they were already established groups, it's quite common that even we see this recently with groups like 80s, groups like SF9, ONF, less with 80s, obviously, less with groups like ONEUS, but still, like, groups that they're good, but they don't have aspirations of doing more. They know that anything they release will reach a certain type of numbers, will sell a certain amount, and it will allow them to tour and do stuff like that. And that's what normally doesn't allow this type of groups to really, you know, grow up and explode. That's why I think BTS is really big, is because they were able to change and do different things all the time. So give them credit.